Nail or beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. Before we get started wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business.
Hey guys, it's Mel here from Monaco Nail Academy, and today I'm joined by Anthea,
Kia ora.
Kat,
Hi.
and Penny's here with us too.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about nail tech goals. What's our goals?
And just a reminder before we dig into the podcast, Happy New Year. But also, if you're starting the new year with a course, don't forget to use our affiliate codes when you sign up. You'll get 10% off all Monaco Nail Academy course enrollments if you use our codes. Mine is Anthea, Anthea. What's yours, Pat?
Patsitive, Patsitive.
I also have one that's Jungle Nails. So yeah, you can use any of our codes and grab yourself that discount. So before we get stuck into this week's topic and first one for the year, what were we chatting about last time, Anthea?
Last year, I think we were flushing the toilet on 2024, actually. We were doing a lot of reflection and what we'd learned, what we're taking forward into the new year, and I think we actually got quite deep and personal.
We did. It was a good episode, but yep, see you later. Goodbye, 24, and hello, 20.
Lots of reflections. Time for the new stuff, though.
2025 just sounds like a better number.
It feels better. Okay, so let's talk about our goals. Okay, first up, what's one skill or technique that we want to master in 2025? I already know what my one is, and it's tortoiseshell. I've been trying for so long to master like the shades of it, the colors of it, and I just can't get it to where I want it to be.
You will.
Yeah, so that's my goal, to master it and get it looking like amazing.
Tortoiseshell can suck it. But also, though, off topic for a second, as we opened this podcast, I looked over at my phone and got 11:11 as we were like,
Yeah, I saw it.
So we're on track, guys. On track for a good 2025 and on track for tortoiseshell.
Yeah.
So talking about goals, it was a really good reminder during the accelerator course to set our goals as SMART goals. So I don't know if I can remember all of the words for the acronym, but it's like specific, measurable, achievable. R is next. What's R? Realistic. And T is timely. So when are you going to achieve your tortoiseshell nails by, Mel?
I don't know. And that's why I haven't done it so far, because I just haven't made the time to do it.
Well, what do you need? Do you need different product?
This is what, like, I was talking about when we were talking about what we wish we didn't buy. I kind of do just want to buy a tortoiseshell kit. So then I've just got everything that works and I don't have to figure it out for myself.
Yeah, remove your barriers.
Yeah.
So you have then, we set you a challenge. You have until next week, the 15th of January.
That's my birthday. Tortoiseshell nails for Anthea's birthday.
We want to see tortoiseshell on your Instagram before the next podcast episode goes up on the 15th of January.
Challenge accepted.
I think my skill or technique is just like, I just want to get more patient with my line work. Like, and I don't actually think that's entirely, well, it's all a me issue because I'm in control of it, but it's not entirely a me issue. Some of it is that what I've done in the town that I live in now, when I moved here, no one got nail art at all. And I still get asked regularly if I know how to paint French. So to get people to get nail art, I was often trying to squeeze it into an existing appointment time or make it as cheap as possible. And I feel that because I've been doing a lot of like salon appropriate art, like quick, up to the client's standards, but not what I am capable of. And then because of that, like the other day, I was just trying to do like a, what's the word? Like a Burberry print on a tip, just for my own fun, sitting between clients. And I hated it. I thought I did such a shit job. And then, like, so I started a second one, which is very unlike me because I hate repeating myself, and just immediately, like, got into a better rhythm and, like, almost, like, learnt from my mistakes and just it's coming back. And so I think that would be, it's not a specific skill or technique, I guess, but just getting my line work back to where it was before. I've almost gone into a muscle memory of working quickly because I feel like I have to. So just pulling it back and trying to put more of the energy I used to put into it, of trying to make it really, really good, not really, really acceptable.
So you're picking your standard up. How are you going to demonstrate that you've achieved that, and when are you going to do it by?
I think it's less of a SMART goal and more of an overall, like, mindset shift. Like, just trying to rejig that, like, because, yeah, it's not exactly, it's specific. Well, it's not even that specific. It's not particularly measurable. It's more just constant reminders to myself to be like, wait, you don't have to rush this. You can put someone last of the day and have unlimited time, or I can practice on tips in between clients instead of, like, rushing around, or I don't know. It's just an overall mindset shift I want to see.
So how can we support you with that? Can we ask you to show us your perfectionist tip for the week, month,
It will
something like
never
that?
be perfectionist. Let's do one thing clear right now. Definitely won't be perfect. Well, we've said previously, like, we're only competing with ourselves, right? So for me, it will never be perfectionist level, but it can be better than what I was doing at the end of 2024. So I'm not too sure how you can support me. You guys are generally just lovely and supportive, but it's more just a mindset. I just want to shift that a little bit.
For me this year, the first thing I want to do is get to fileless BIAB, because I think it would just be nice to have really good control over the structure that I'm building, to the point that when I'm done applying it, it's just like a quick buff and then done. That would be really incredible. I would be so proud of myself if I could do it. And also, that would save me time, right? So my other thing is just get faster. And I think that just means I need to do nails more often. So yeah, it's very basic for me. But that's what happens when you're the newbie on the block, right? You gotta focus on the basics and get those right before I get all fancy and technical with it.
I guess, as Penny just said, though, sometimes you have to come back round to that learning mindset and focus back on the basics. Like, she's going to be focusing on her line work, so that's not exactly way out the gate. So how are you going to check in with yourself on how your progress is going? Are you going to time yourself?
I think one of the things I'll be doing is taking photos of my BIAB work after I apply, but before I do the finish filing, so I can monitor my progress as I go. And I think timing myself would be a good idea as well. I really should start doing like a stopwatch for the time that I do the prep, the time that I'm doing the structure, and then the time that I'm doing finish filing. Note to self, I should start doing that. Yeah, because it would be good for me to be able to, I guess, like, objectively measure the improvements. So if I'm doing the timing, then I know the speed's picking up and I know how quickly I'm achieving things. And then if I take the before and after photos, then I can see how my structure is improving objectively. Like, it's not just going to be like I think it's improved and I'm not filing anymore. Like, genuinely, it'll be like, oh yes, I can see that. I can see it makes a difference.
You have evidence.
Yeah, exactly. There's like proof.
Hey team, Penny from the future here, interrupting to tell you about something super cool. If you're an aspiring nail tech ready to take the first step towards your dream career, our free 5-day Nail Tech Launchpad is here to help you decide if this is the right path for you. 5 videos over 5 days, giving you a taste of what it's like to be a nail technician, an overview of the basics, and insight into whether this career fits your lifestyle and budget. It's totally free, can be done in your own time with less than a 2-hour total commitment, and it starts on Monday. Sign up today and start your journey to becoming a nail tech at www.monaco.ac.nz/launchpad.
My goals for 2025. I think I really need to focus on taking care of my body. So, like, I grumble about this all the time, but I need to do like daily yoga. So, I think my goal is to do yoga practice every single day that I'm doing nails at least. So, yeah, I'll keep track of that using my handy little Finch app, which has been keeping me entertained and giving me points for things like getting out of bed. But yeah, I'm going to take care of my body, do some yoga because I've been having some problems with my back and my shoulder, and that means that doing nails gets painful, and yeah, no, that's not an option.
Okay, let's switch it from like what we want to achieve.
But what were your goals, Mel? You didn't give us one.
Yes, I did. I said I want to get good at tortoiseshell.
Oh, damn, you went first. You did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Goldfish brain. It's
Yeah.
not only Pat.
What's one way we're going to elevate our clients' experience in 2025? So what are we going to do to step up their experience? What can we do?
I guess this is kind of like one-ups. So I'm excited about in 2025 being able to open up to new clients. I'm offering services from a space on K Road, so people can come and see me there. It's shared space with some other creatives. So if you're looking for me, find me on Instagram and that will point you in the right direction. But yeah, I'm finally going to be working on some new hands, meeting some new people. And my other upgrade for if I am seeing people still from my home studio, then I'm excited to offer them some hot towels. I'm like revamping a old slow cooker. I'm going to decorate it, but it's there running away, keeping some towels warm for end of service because hot towel just feels so good.
Those are great one-ups. I've got my list. So I think we did this as part of Salon Success / Accelerator. And one of the tasks was that you had to come up with a list of one-ups that you wanted to commit to. So I've got my list here. And I think some of them, okay, if we're thinking specifically about like improving the experience of clients, I think it would be figuring out where a good place for the phone stand is and just making sure it's where it needs to be. Um, the phone stand being I let clients to with their phones, but only if the phone is on a phone stand so that I know they're not actually getting anything on their nails. It's just their fingers touching the screen and the screen's not going anywhere. Like I find that okay, and they're less likely to fiddle with other stuff if they've got something to look at. So I just need to make sure that it's in the right spot, that it's not in the way of the lamp and it's not in the way of my service, because sometimes it is kind of annoying. Yeah, and also I keep taking it home, so I need to leave it where it is. That's not a very helpful one. Is there anything else? I'm like looking through my list. There's like a bunch of stuff on here. Like, what is this? Should I just read a random one? I want to start doing like, this is so silly, but I want to occasionally send out personalized thank you notes after appointments, like actually mail it to their house, because I think that would be like a cheap but sweet way to say thank you, because like nobody gets mail these days. It's usually like junk mail. So I think it would be sweet to send out a little letter like thank you for being a client.
Yeah, that's so cute. It's like a little treat. And I think that really speaks to your goal of being creative in your business. Like you're running your own business to be able to do cute little things like that.
Yeah, totally. Oh, shout out, Anthea, that you remembered stuff from last year. Thank you.
Mine's going to be a bit more simple, I think. I'm just going to bring back the lollies that I used to give out to my clients because everyone loved it. And I just haven't organized enough to do it here. So I think I'm just going to bring that back because, yeah, it's a nice, easy one up. It's not super expensive, but it does elevate their experience. So I think
Your
I'll just,
famous lollies with a business card.
yeah,
Yeah,
that they
cute.
leave on the car park floor. I mean, they've been mentioned so many times, which, yeah, and clients do love it. So yeah, I think I'll just bring that back. It's easy to implement and it's not going to cost a lot of money. And yeah. Okay, let's change from that sort of goal to business goals. What's What's a measurable, this comes back to the SMART goals. What's a measurable business goal? So income, client growth, or even like rebooking rates that you want to achieve in 2025. Mine, I know straight off the bat, is I want to work on getting clients to rebook before they leave. Because at the moment, I'm just like, okay, thanks, see you later, bye. I don't say like, do you want to rebook or shall we rebook? I don't do that. I just let them leave and let them rebook themselves. So that's definitely going to be a goal for mine, to secure their rebooking before they leave.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you're going to measure that by
I guess kind of just in, well, it wouldn't, well, yeah, where would I measure it? It wouldn't be in like the conversion thing, would it? Because they've already converted.
I guess you could always add to the conversion tracker. If it's a list of everyone you've ever contacted, you can also add it in there.
Is
I
it,
don't know.
can you
Maybe I
check that
shouldn't have
on
challenged you.
your booking software? Do they have something about rebooking rate?
I think if
Maybe?
you click on the client, it definitely tells you like how many appointments and stuff they've had. Maybe I'll just make like a another spreadsheet and put everyone's
Yeah,
name in and just keep track of how many appointments or
Mm.
yeah.
you could
But yeah,
totally do that.
just something I want.
Sidetrack. Do you keep note of what products and techniques you use on your clients each appointment? Like, do you keep a note on a client card or anything like that?
No, I don't.
I tried
Yeah,
to
I
do
haven't
that
been.
and then I got behind and then I stopped.
Yeah, I haven't been, but I think it would be really valuable. Like, I haven't really had the volume of clients and I just kind of remember, but it's good to know, like, I know I did IBX on this person when, just, for future reference sake. So maybe a spreadsheet of who your client is, like, and then list all your clients, list their appointment, and if it went ahead, what you did, if they rebooked, like those kinds of things. Maybe that's something we could all use.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Cool.
definitely be handy, especially if like, you're posting photos on Instagram, right? And people will be like, "What was the color that you used?" And that like blah 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 blah. And then you look at the color, or maybe it's like you custom mixed it, or you used a bunch of stuff, and then sometimes you look at it and you go, What did I even do?" But if you wrote it
Yeah.
down, then you could be like, "I know exactly what I did and
Just
who I did
refer
it
to your
on."
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually in Salon Success, like, and actually in theory, I think in client consultations about having a client card. So yeah, maybe we're going to create new client cards and use them. This year, 2025, my business account is going to have $5,000 in it by the end of the year.
Nice. And how are we going to achieve that? By increasing our client base or prices?
Uh, well, considering I don't exactly have a client base to speak of, I'm like starting fresh this year, this new year. I'm going to stick to my elevated prices. Like, I've been lecturing everybody about lifting their prices. I think generally now techs in New Zealand are underpricing our work. Like, I've been traveling, I've had other nail techs, sure, with years of experience and a high social media profile and things like that overseas. I've had them do my nails, but the prices I've paid have been, yeah, massive compared to what we are charging for very similar results and, yeah, work here in New Zealand. So I'm on a bit of a crusade to have everyone lift their prices. So I'm going to keep my prices high. It might mean I miss out on some clients, but I think it's worth it, and I need to value myself and my skills more highly. And yeah, I'm going to see the result in my bank account.
Yeah, let's manifest that for you. And you're right, it is so like our prices are so low, people are so used to it. Like I just put mine up and you're going to say they're still too low, Anthea, and they 100%. So all she wanted was gel polish, and I charged 65 for that, and she sent back and said, "Oh no, it's getting a bit pricey for me. Don't worry, cancel my booking." So I was like, okay. But
Yeah.
it's that sort of thing that make you go, maybe I am charging too much.
No, it's just not the right client for you. I mean, people are attracted to getting their nails done. It's a luxury service, though, and if they don't have the budget for it, they don't have the budget for it. And it's not on us to lower our prices to put it in budget for people who actually maybe can't or shouldn't be spending that money on their nails. I want to be doing nails for people who comfortably have the money. Like they know my skills, they value my skills, they compensate me for my skills, and like I don't want to be stressing about other people's budgets. Like stressing about my own is enough.
Totally. What's going to be yours, Pat?
I've been thinking about this, and you remember last year I talked about how I have a word for the year, and I think
Mm.
my word for this year is going to be, I'm thinking it's either observe or measure. And yeah, I think because there's the saying, right? It's what gets measured gets managed, slash what gets measured gets done. And it's the idea is that if you are paying attention to something, you naturally start to make improvements or adjustments to your behavior or whatever it is that's happening. Um, you just naturally start behaving better because you're paying attention to it. So that's a thing that happens with regards to like your eating habits. Apparently, they have studies and stuff, and I imagine it would do the same thing for businesses. So instead of like committing to a specific thing I want to do, I mean, the specific thing is that I want to track my different metrics. So there are like lists of metrics that you should be tracking, and I think I'm going to pick five, one of which is obviously conversion rate. And another one that I want to track is something called, what does it say? It's like um it says cost the client acquisition cost, and that's about understanding how much it costs for you to get a new client, like paying for like the marketing spend versus the number of new clients that I'm getting. Like I think that would be an interesting one as well. And what I might do is like every couple of months start measuring a new metric. So it's not overwhelming and I try to measure everything at once. Um, I'm still struggling with being good at tracking my conversion rate. So I think that's the first one that I really have to focus on. Just, putting it out there.
Okay, so switching from like business goals, let's switch to personal goals. So the question from me to you guys is, what's a mindset goal you'd like to focus on, like building confidence or letting go of perfectionism?
Yeah, and being the start of a new year, there's been a lot of reflection going on. So I think personally, I've kind of got two. One is to learn better to trust my gut, my intuition. Like, what are my feelings telling me about a situation? Is there a boundary I need to set? Is there a boundary being crossed if I'm not feeling good? And do something about it. And also, like with mindset shift, I really want to try and shift my mindset into a state of believing that I have enough. I want an abundance sort of mindset rather than a scarcity one, which is kind of rooted in fear and anxiety. Like I want to feel like I have enough, like there is enough, and not that I'm panicking because I'm in fear. I want that abundance shift, if that makes sense.
Okay, so for me, it's definitely about the consistency thing again. So I'm gonna take it back to my word for the year, which I think I am gonna go with measure. I just want to be able to observe what I'm doing and am I being consistent in the right thing. So I've asked ChatGPT to give me some KPIs for my personal life. Like for example, I won't bore you with all of them, but one of the KPIs is 85% adherence to your energy flow schedule over 4 weeks, which sounds like, what the heck does that mean? But it's literally just like, if my plan was that I'm going to have a productive late morning, am I adhering to that? Like, did I follow that schedule? And it's about that consistency thing. Um, yeah, and am I winding down at the right time? So it sounds really like, oh my God, what the heck she's talking about adherence. But it's literally just like, am I honoring my body and my needs? You know? So I can be consistent. That's the goal.
What's mine? I think mine is to just, like you said in past episode, Anthea, to just give myself some grace and just, yeah, like I am human. I am gonna make mistakes, but it's okay. Like we can get there, we'll get through it and move on. Like just, yeah, let go of this whole like trying to be perfect and, never making mistakes and being everything to everyone. And it's just not realistic and it's just not like sustainable. So I think my mindset is, yeah, just to be a bit nicer to myself and just let life take its journey.
Yeah, I think you need to be, Mel. I think even though it's motivating, the ways that we're hard on ourselves is how we get stuff done and how we achieve a high standard. Like we are good enough, and we can't keep things up if we're like running ourselves into the ground. So yeah, extending yourself some kindness. I'm really happy to hear you say that.
Yeah. Let's see if I can put it into practice. Because like you say, we're so conditioned, especially women from a young age, that when you're a mum, it's normal to just run yourself into the ground as long as your
Mm,
house is clean and your husband's happy and your kids are happy. Like you're literally conditioned to put yourself last.
mm.
So yeah, I
But they
really,
don't want you to be unhappy either. They love you and they want you to be well.
yeah, you're just so like conditioned to think that way. I think, especially for me, like because I'm the older of the bunch, like I'm in my early 40s, it's a lot of years to like unravel and undo, I guess.
We got you. You can do it.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool you're on that journey to really look after yourself and not put yourself last.
Yeah, and it's like I've said it in the past, I hope that it will sort of model to like my daughter and her friends and things like that. So then that becomes normal, not like what we
Yeah.
had was normal. Yeah, just sort of shift that.
Cycle breaker, look at you.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, now let's dream big. After that, we're going to achieve those goals. What is going to be one thing you want to achieve in 2025 that come like at the end of 2025, you're going to go, yeah, 2025 was a win, not like end of 24, we were like, see you later. Let's get to the end of this year and be like, yeah, that was amazing. Like, what's the one goal that we want to achieve that's going to make 2025 feel like a win? Yeah, everyone's like,
Okay, I think I have one. This is yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember last year I was talking about how for me my business needs to be able to fund like fun stuff, which is very like that's so superficial, Pat. But whatever. I would love if by the end of 2025 I'm in my own space that's just me, but it's not at my house. Like I want to be somewhere else that's my salon space slash I can also have space for my hobbies there. Like, just the start of my, I don't know, my hobby pleasure
You want a
business zone.
studio?
Yeah, I want a studio and then I'll have my pole there. I'll
Mm.
have like, I don't know, like photography related stuff. Like everything I want to do, I just want it in that space and I can bring my dog and then I can close the door to the part that's for fun and then I'm seeing clients at the presentable side. That is my like I would like to make a start on that by the end of 2025.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I reckon 2025 will be successful for me if I've achieved that money in the bank, and I would like to do something that I did in previous years, which is to use some of my business income to take a friend out at the end of the year for like a work Christmas dinner. Like I see lots of workplaces having like Christmas celebrations, and being a business of one, it's a bit like sad. But if I can use my money to take a friend out for a fancy dinner, that's my Christmas celebration. So I look forward to
That's so
doing that.
cute.
it's very cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it before with a friend who was also a small business owner. Like I took them out and we went and got cocktails and I saved all the receipts because this is our Christmas party. Yeah, I look forward to it.
I think if I look back and we're like just in a better place just happiness wise and work-life balance wise and all that stuff, then I'll see it as a win. Because yeah, the last year's just been a bit of a whirlwind. So yeah, if we can get to the end of 2025 and just be happier again, then yeah, that'll be a win for me.
What does that look like for you if you've achieved that goal?
Well, one, not being at a job that pays me minimum wage around people that I hate.
Can you like flip that into what you want instead of just what you don't want?
Yeah. Well, what I want is to have the stability to be able to leave that outside job again.
Yeah.
But I think coming from my journey, I'm not so focused on like business at the moment. I'm more focused on my family and the life I want to create going forward for my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know, really. For me, it's just get through the year, to be honest.
No, that's cool.
Pat's going to be locking the door to her studio space. She's going to have a set of keys. I'm going to be taking a friend out to dinner.
That would be so cool. I'm just like, I would love to have my own space and it's just me and it's like not at my house and a hangout zone for myself.
You have control to be Pat-sitive.
Yeah, and I can like store all my books there. I'm just like vision boarding out loud.
And Anna will be there in the corner. Is that what you said her name was? Anna?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my dog. She's gonna hang out with me. It'll be great. My husband will never see me again. I'll just never be home. So I'll just be like, all the stuff I like are here. So bye.
You start sleeping in the dog bed.
Yeah, exactly. What if I put a bed in there? Then I'll never leave. If it has a bathroom.
You know,
All
once
right.
upon a time, I considered whether I could live and do nails from a boat. Like, I don't know if you know this about me, but my family and I lived on a
Oh.
boat for 18 months and it was actually really great. And I was thinking, oh, what if I just bought this boat instead of buying a house to live in Auckland? I'll buy a boat and just like park it up in West Haven Marina and I can have my clients come down there. It's like, what about if there's waves? I have to have like a gimbal table that moves with the waves, and that'll be a real challenge of painting fine lines.
I mean, if they have those fancy spoons that like, stabilize people's hands when they've got Parkinson's, maybe I'm sure
Yeah.
there's something to stabilize your table.
Okay, so you guys have got your goals. What is the first small step you can take now to move yourself closer to those goals?
I'm like, should I chat GPT this? Like,
No.
See?
My step now is like I was talking about charging my prices. Like I'm all right. This is scary, so that's probably a good thing. I'm gonna commit to not charging less than $90 for a service.
I love that for you. So
So
good.
yeah. So people don't really come to me for basic gel anyway. So but if you want a structured gel manicure, even if it's one color, it's gonna be $90. Thanks.
How good. Okay.
You
Yeah.
don't have it, there's somewhere across the street.
Yeah. You're catering to a specific clientele.
And what about you, Pat? How are you gonna move towards those goals?
Can you give me like suggestions? Like what would I be doing to make that a reality? Like should I
I think,
Google places?
Yeah.
yeah, I think you should maybe even talk to an estate agent to tell them like what space you envisage and find out how much that might cost so that you know what sort of what sort of income you're going to need to cover your space.
An estate agent? That sounds terrifying.
Well, they know all the nooks and crannies. Like they know what spaces might be available. So from what you've said so far, you are going to need 2 rooms. You're going to need plumbing. You're going to need power. Are you going to need 1 or 2 car parks? Like think about what exactly do you need? What are the musts? And yeah, talk to someone about it because you've got time before the end of the year.
Yeah. And then I need to have the cash flow as well to pay for it. I'm actually pumped about this. I don't know if I want to talk to someone, but I might Google, does it need to be a commercial space to make this happen, or could I rent a random house and just like that's now
Hmm.
my business space?
It's something just to double check with council. Like I know in Auckland we've got some specific rules about that kind of thing, but maybe
Hmm.
not in your area.
I think I know some people. I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google this. Maybe it's like I have to live there, but I'm not gonna live there. Force my in-laws to live there so I can so I can operate.
So you look for flatmates wanted on Trade Me, and you're a
Yeah,
flatmate,
I'll be
but
like,
like
you
you
have to
sleep
live with
somewhere
my
else.
business. Okay, I'm actually feeling pumped. Like it's making me want to measure things so that I can, like see my progress. Like that's cool. Like, but I'm just in the airy fairy. Let's see what's out there first.
Yeah, well, we're in the dream moment, but also motivated to make it happen.
Yeah. And like this is totally not me like ragging on. I love sharing a space at the moment. It's just like also it would be so cool that if my space was just like it had everything that I wanted,
Mm.
like my aerial arts and stuff. Like how good.
Hmm.
It'd be cool. Do yoga in the corner.
Hey guys, Future Penny here again. Just a super quick interruption to let you know that if you head to monaco.ac.nz/subscribe, not only can you sign up to our weekly newsletter, but you'll also get a free video lesson from our course, The Art of Pigments. That's monaco.ac.nz/subscribe.
I think our Monaco mentor for Northland, Jess, like I really want to go and visit her. She set up her space gloss, and there seem to be a couple of treatment rooms and things, and she's a fabulous designer, so it all looks very aesthetic and cool, and I really admire her. So I'd love to go and visit Jess and her spot. Shall we go for
Me
a road trip, Pat?
too. Yes, I was gonna ask if I could come, so you read
Yeah,
my
come and
mind.
pick me
Thank
up
you.
and we'll go and visit Jess and like
Oh yeah,
celebrate
let's do
her.
that. 2025 goal, we're gonna visit Jess.
Funny. All right, Pat, while you're super excited and motivated, how do you keep the momentum going when that motivation fades?
That's a
Wait,
good
Mel, you
question.
didn't tell us your one step you were going to take.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I think the thing that comes back to my mind is just staying consistent and just remembering why I want to be there. Like,
Okay. So are you going to write out your like mission statement and stick it up in your workspace?
I should. Yes.
And you have your mission from doing Accelerator, so that should
I
be
do
easy.
indeed have that.
It's so nice to be able to do like something small for our goals, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
taking all the big leaps. Like it could be like what you're gonna do, Mel. You're gonna put up your goal and your vision and you can just like stare at it. Like that's good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be huge. Like, if you just like, we've all been through huge changes this past year.
Mm,
A little step is okay, and doesn't have to be a
yeah.
massive change.
And
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes even the smallest steps are the scariest to
Yeah.
take. So I think let's lean into that. Yeah.
Yeah, and how do we keep the motivation going when we don't want to keep going? When the momentum is like, ugh.
Yeah, good question. Like I've really been trying to work on my consistency and my stickability and ability to like get back on track in 2024. So I'm gonna keep working on that this year. I think it's really about mindset for me, like partly mindset, like it's okay to fall off the wagon as long as I get back on the wagon, like don't stay on the ground, get back up. And so that's the mindset part. But also, I think one other thing is I'm gonna try and track. It's like that measuring thing again. It's so my word. Like writing down and recognizing the wins that I've made, because then if I'm in a dark moment and I've given up for a while or whatever, then I can look back and be like, I achieved these things, even if they're small. Like it can remind me that the small things were still wins anyway, and I can like get back onto this, so it's okay. And like that self-compassion, that's what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
Anthea, what would you do if you get off track?
Well, because my goal is to make that money and take a friend out, I think I'm going to look around for where's this fancy smancy place that I'm going out to dinner at the end of the year. And so like I need to carry on so that I can achieve that But like, and just telling
Ooh.
Mel to write her mission statement and put it up in her workspace, like I felt that sort of fear butterfly feeling in my gut when I said I'm not going to charge less than $90 for a service, and I think I need to write that down. And like when I'm doubting, or when a friend is saying, "Oh, I can't afford, I'm struggling, la la la, I really like having nice nails and whatever," I want to help them out and I love them, but I'm gonna say like I'm not charging less than $90 for a service. So I know that if I'm doing it for less than that, that I am giving them that money, like
Yeah.
keeping that awareness. But yeah, keeping that value high, so I value myself as well. It's not just about other people paying me.
So let's wrap it up and let's say what's one goal every nail tech should set themselves in 2025? And I already know what yours is going to be, Anthea.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, you would assume that I was going to say raise your prices.
That's what I hear you telling me to do.
Good. I'm happy that the Anthea on your shoulder is telling you to charge your worth. Yep, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
she is, yeah. What's one thing you would tell a nail tech, not me assuming what you would say?
Um, I was actually thinking more, maybe kind of in Pat's space of like awareness, as to like, I think nail tech should be aware of their why, like their reason for doing what they're doing, so that when you're making decisions about, are you going to book something in, are you going to invest in some new equipment, is it helping you towards your why, the reason you are in business and doing this for yourself. And honestly, if anyone needs to spend more time workshopping that and working it out, sign up for the accelerator course and use my discount code. It's Anthea.
And all that commission money should go straight into your dinner account for the end of the year.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. If I make anything out of referrals from the podcast, then it's going into the like fancy dinner fund, all right?
No.
That's so good. How fancy are you thinking, by the way? Like, is this the kind of place where you get kicked out for not dressing nice? Is that what we're thinking?
I mean, I don't know if it still exists, but I've been to a restaurant where it cost about $3,000 for two of us to eat for one night. So I'm not aiming that high.
Wow.
That was in Auckland.
So
Yeah,
is that the goal? Is that what we're looking at?
oh no, I'm not spending $3,000 on a meal. I think, yeah, I don't have the place in mind. That's why I have to research it as motivation. But I'll spend $600 for two of us. Yeah.
Nice. That's so
So you can
exciting.
all compete to be my friend who's coming to Christmas
Yeah,
dinner
who's
with
going to
me.
be the VIP?
I think I would be too stressed out. I'd be like, this is a lot of money. There's no way.
It's going to be great. So, Pat, what do you think nail techs need to have as a goal for 2025?
I think people should be, you're right. Like, I'm going to talk about metrics. You should track stuff. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not going to track like your conversion rate or something, which you should, then at least look at your bank account. Like, see what's coming in, right? At the very least, is there money in there? Just pay attention. Don't stick your head in the sand. That's my favorite thing to do. So, Pat, it's a new year. Be better.
Hmm. So avoid avoidance.
Yeah, avoid avoidance. Rush straight into the thing you're afraid of.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw sound bites around.
Penny from the future here, reminding you to sign up for our free 5-day nail tech launchpad. It's the perfect, no pressure way to dip your toes in and see if nail tech life is right for you. monaco.ac.nz/launchpad.
I just had a thought that I used to have one of those Kmart like letter light box things that you could put little letters in, and yeah, I might dig that up and put like at least $90 on it so that I don't forget.
Oh,
Put it on
okay.
the wall so it's clear, at least $90, and then everyone knows. Mel, do
Okay.
you think you would be able to charge clients $90 for a service, like a structure manicure, shall we say?
Um, I don't know. Well, not when they're telling me $65 is too much.
Yeah, you're just reaching the wrong people, I guess.
Yeah.
We got to ask ChatGPT to help us find the people with money.
Yeah.
Start going to like country clubs or yacht clubs and
Yeah.
socializing, I guess.
I don't want to hang out with snooty people. Like, am I just making assumptions that they're snooty? They could be lovely. I don't know. They could be lovely. I could be wrong.
I mean, some of my favorite TV shows like incorporate those kinds of people who just maybe we'll find some wacky work stories that way.
I will say in my area, a lot of my clients are country club, golf club people, and they are so good for motivation. Like the other week, because I've mentioned before that I've been doing my sleep out is on Airbnb, and I was talking to her about how I've survived without that money so far. So what if I funnel it into my like mortgage and that sort of thing? And we were just chatting about it, and I was like, how old were you when you were mortgage free? And she's like, 51. So if you do this plan, you'll beat me by 2 years. And I was like, how did you know that's what I was thinking? And she's like, that's what I would have been thinking. And like, I just have the best chats with them. Like, are they dressed to the nines and wearing like white linen button down shirts, and like they look so put together, and like they can't leave the house without looking a certain way, and that's me making an assumption based on what I see. But like these country club people, they got to afford a country club by doing something. Almost like there's no one I know that just fell on a Scrooge McDuck pile of cash. And none of the women I do nails for just married rich or like anything like that. They're so inspiring. So I would say embrace it. Go for the country club.
I love that. Okay, I love how they're actually cool and not just like, I don't know, like Nepo babies.
Generally, they were motivated enough to reach a level of success. So then to see it in someone like younger than themselves, my experience is that they actually get really hyped to be like, you could do this and you could do this, and have you tried this? And like,
That's beautiful.
it's honestly, they're probably my favorite. Like I would say I've got two categories of favorite clients. It's like the clients my age that become like confidants and friends, and then these clients who are like, I guess kind of who I want to be when I grow up, except I don't want to join a country club.
So like having mentors.
Oh my gosh, is it basically like your avatar is basically like your business coach slash mentor, but they pay you instead of the other way around?
Yeah. It's so
That's
fun.
amazing.
Because I'm just not afraid to be like, how did you do it? And then as soon as like, generally people have a fair idea that I own this house by myself, I'm doing these things by myself. You get the odd person that assumes that I just paint nails and that Monaco is something cute I do on the side. But most people are like, it is not easy to be doing what you're doing by yourself. And it's not because we've had a conversation, it's because they know it's not easy to do what I'm doing by myself. And so then when I'm like, wait, how did you do it? They're kind of already primed to be like this, I'll tell you everything. Like, yeah, I don't know. They're my favorites.
That's so good.
So Penny, I know that you're in a holiday town and there's like another like pretty fancy, I guess, by reputation, holiday destination really nearby. Do people come around the corner from there?
Yes. Or straight across the water by jet ski.
Oh my God.
Not necessarily around the corner. Because when in the holidays, there's a big queue. As I know you're aware, the roads get really, really crazy.
Yeah.
And so there's multiple people in the holidays. They'll be like, did you get around the traffic? And they'll be like, I just bought the jet ski. But
Come by
a
boat.
lot of the clients I'm referencing are from that area, not all of them, but yeah, I get a lot of people coming from quite far and wide. I get a lot of Mel's old clients too, so they're coming even further. But yeah, I get definitely a wide range of socioeconomic backgrounds.
Would any of you like be keen on a jet ski and just like do a mobile jet ski to your client?
They are so expensive.
Like how much?
$15,000 for a jet ski, like basic.
Oh,
Like,
I thought it'd be more.
no,
Okay.
I just did not expect them to be that much for just like a toy. But
It's like a motorbike on the water. Like,
no, I know, but like it's what I mean is it's a toy as in it's not your daily commute. It doesn't have the purpose of a vehicle. It is something you play with. So to me, that's just so far outside what I personally would spend on a toy.
Unless you did the jet ski commute every day.
Well, I tell you what, though, because Bonnie teaches yoga both in my town and across the water in that town, and she paddleboards to work when she has classes in the other town during summer.
Oh, see, it is a thing that you could totally do. So maybe in my future studio thing, I jet ski to work. Not that I live in a place where I wouldn't be able to do that. There's literally the river. Can I jet ski down the river? Okay, we're going too far into crazy town.
Maybe your studio overlooks the lake, the river, sorry.
I mean, that would be incredible, but also I'm like, oh my God, that's so expensive.
I'm a water freak. I like to scuba dive. I grew up on the water. I've never been to the snow. Just such a water person, like sailing, whatever, but I've never been on a jet ski. I was going to say I don't know anyone who's owned a jet ski, but I did briefly date someone who wanted to ride their jet ski over to come and see me when I was staying with my family. And I was like, absolutely not.
Knowing what I know, that is so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a long way, but he would like take his jet ski out fishing throughout like that whole area, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal. I'll just come over on my jet ski." And I'm like, absolutely not. Like everyone of my family will see that, and I do not want to deal with it. But I do still want to go on the jet ski. But yeah, no, I let that one go. Threw that one back in the sea.
Him and his silly jet ski.
Mel can throw all her $65 clients back in the sea. You can't have a 70% conversion rate and have heaps of people saying that you're too expensive. That's not a thing.
No, it was literally one, but it was enough for me to go, this is why people don't charge more, because of people like you.
Chuck her on a jet ski. Send her back to 2024. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to take that key ring of yours to some bougier places. And like, I know it feels kind of uncomfortable if it's not your usual spot, but like, yeah, you'll find people to connect with, to vibe with anywhere. Like you're such a personable person. Maybe I need to take some of my own advice and like sign up for a cooking course or something.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did cake decorating at Millie's in Parnell, and like I wasn't trying to drum up clients. I was trying to like learn about cake decorating. But man, that would have been a great place to get nail clients.
Yeah. I mean, I live in like the richest part of the area, and I always just say to people, I don't belong here because I'm so out of place here.
We were talking about mindset earlier. You got to change that. You do belong. You do deserve.
I was listening to a podcast this morning where they were just completely randomly discussing that, how like I think they were referring to LA, but like how in LA there's not really suburbs, like not in the same way that in like they were comparing it to Georgia, like in the same way that we would have like suburbs and areas, like you would know this suburb is a rich area and this suburb is less of a rich area. And they were like, in LA you can have like people who are super rich across the road from people who are super poor. The suburbs are less divided by money. Like obviously, you know, you've got like Beverly Hills and like stuff like that, but a lot of the places there's no suburb financial structure. And they were just talking about how interesting it is that like on the one hand, then everybody's lumped in together, so you don't have so much like haves and have-nots. But then on the other hand, are you like comparing yourself more? I don't know. It's just really interesting. It's interesting, Mel, that you're in an area that you feel is more affluent than like your circumstance, but you're there. So who says?
And a Mel says it. That's her. And she's a bitch.
But also, I had a lady, a client come in once who was a traveler from from overseas, and she came in for nails, and she's just sitting there making what she would have been thinking was lovely casual conversation. And then she asked me straight up if my town is a low socioeconomic area. And I was like, no, what you're looking at is people's second houses. I was like, if you go up the mountain to the ocean views, you'll see a lot of very fancy houses. And then most of these houses that are a little more run down it's because their $100,000 boat is still out on the water. Like, it's just prioritization. But that was another interesting thing, that she just assumed that because batches are like slightly more run down looking, she's like, well, you must be in a really poor area. No, people have prioritized going out on the ocean rather than doing up their second house or their first. Lots of us live here full time, but like a lot of people are prioritizing life, not having a fancy house.
Not property maintenance. Gosh, property maintenance is so much work and so bad for nails. I did the backyard with my dad the other day. Oh, didn't break a nail, don't worry. Wore gloves, pulled lots of weeds, but it does feel good though, right? How's your garden, Penny?
Slightly overgrown, but like it's just in the last week gone from like cute, intentionally overgrown to needs some attention. But it's still cute. There's hundreds of strawberries because I planted strawberries as ground cover, so my whole backyard is just strawberries instead of grass, and it's like insane.
That's cute. So do you have a bonus strawberry bowl and like for your clients to pick from?
No, because that would require me having the time and energy to go out and pick them.
All right, so free strawberry picking. Go and pick your own.
A client literally came yesterday with her kids, and I was like, hey guys, go into my kitchen, open all the bottom cupboards until you find the one that has containers. Go pick some strawberries to take home with you.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, have you had real fruit ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got strawberries for ice cream. Oh, damn, I'm jealous. I want strawberries and ice cream now. Must be getting to lunchtime.
2025 goals.
No, we know it's fancy dinner, and Pat's contending to come with me.
No, because it's so expensive. I can't.
But you can have an open invite for people who achieved their goals to join you. You're just paying.
Yeah. I'm sponsoring one person, so I have company. The rest is just like, yep, if you've ticked the box, come. I'll add you to the booking.
You could do an open invite end of year dinner, name the restaurant, and then part of your like celebration for yourself, instead of shouting one person dinner, you could just buy a round, and it might come to the same amount of money.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing that I would be giving people then is still an event. Just set the date. There's a gathering. Food for thought. Maybe I'll be organising more meetups this year.
Fun.
Now I'm back in the space where we've got the busiest group chat. Mel, are you still playing bingo?
Not as often, but they're also kind of like older ladies. They're not really my people. They're not my client, my target. So yeah, it doesn't really help me in that sense. Okay, let's finish up with this question. What's one mantra or affirmation you're going to use to stay inspired and focused on your goal for 2025?
I think I've already said mine. So my word for the year, I've already said it like 5 million times, is measure. And I'm going to go with that quote, what gets measured gets managed.
Nice.
Woo.
I think mine's just going to be consistency. Like, keep going, keep trying, don't give up.
Yeah, that's your word.
I don't know how mine like lines into a mantra, but like just the general idea of just staying super focused. Like maybe that's my word. I need to think on it. Maybe that's my 2025 word, is just focus. Like not letting other people distract me, or other people's needs distract me, or silly things distract me. Like I just want to be on top of everything and stay consistent. So maybe focus rather than a mantra, just like keep the focus. Eye on the prize. That's my mantra. Eye on the prize.
I need a snappier one.
Like in past years, I've had a word like you, Pat, and I found it really worked because it was so simple. Just to have one word to really hone in on. And like I've had respect was a good one. I think that was probably my best one. So I'm kind of leaning towards grace Grace for myself, grace for other people, but like grace with boundaries. Grace doesn't mean being a pushover. Grace means like if someone can't meet my stated boundary, then like it's fine to let them go, let them be, and have grace for myself if that's a painful thing to do. Yeah, so screw the mantra. It's one word. It's grace.
If you say it 3 times, it's a mantra.
It starts sounding like a prayer.
If you say grace 3 times, then just like some sort of like Beetlejuice's cousin turns up. She's like, what do you want?
I'm imagining like a Disney character because I've been playing a Disney game. So just like this Disney character appears with sparkles and shimmers and arrives and
That would
fairy
make way
godmother
more
style.
sense than a Beetlejuice type character. Yeah, for sure.
You were thinking Candyman though, weren't you?
No, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And then
Yeah,
here it is.
yeah.
I was
And,
thinking,
or Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. That's the other one.
I was thinking Candyman. I was going to say just
Yeah.
don't. No.
I don't know what Candyman is.
Oh, yeah, you should look that up.
No, thank you. Sounds scary.
Yeah, correct.
All right, Mel, take us home.
Okay. So with that done and dusted, before you disappear, like our page or follow the podcast so that you don't miss the next episode. We'll be back next week. Penny, what are we covering next week?
We have Sheena from the Doll's House joining us to do like a little coaching session. So
Nice.
we're going to be talking about her business specifically. We've never done this before. We do not know what we're doing. But we're just going to talk to her about her business specifically and see if we can sort of brainstorm some ideas together for pushing her further in 2025.
That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's really exciting. I said I met Sheena at the expo and connected with her. The Doll's House is such a cute concept, so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So until then, make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching Monaco Nail Academy or follow our salons. Mine is Jungle Nails NZ.
Mine is Tattooed Beauty.
And I'm Fussy Bee.
Mine is Hard Lacquer NZ.
Have a great week, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Matewa.
Bye.